One of the biggest reasons traders blow up their accounts, it's not because they don't know what stocks to find or they don't know the perfect timing. It's not having a plan to get out when you're wrong. I'm going to show you exactly how I protect my money when I trade, where and when I set my stop losses, when I know to get in, and when I know to get out. This video is meant to be a guide for you, so you can stop letting the stock market take money away from you. I'm going to show you some real examples, and I don't want you to copy these trades, but I want you to copy the process that I'm going to show you. I want to give you the knowledge so that you can replicate it. Let's get into it. So first, let's explain what a stop loss is, because this term is generally used, but people don't really know what it is. There's different types of stop losses. So let's come over to the chart and just draw out an example real quick. The type of stop loss that I like to use is a trailing stop loss. So let's just use whole numbers here. Let's say the stock is let's say it's at $10 a share, okay? And I'm gonna have a 5% stop loss on it. So if the stock price just arbitrarily, it's at $10 a share, and it drops to, let's call it $9.50, no movement other than a drop to $9.50, this stock is going to sell for me because it's a trailing stop. So from the high, no matter what the high is, 5% pullback from the high of that day or the high of that intraday is going to give you an exit. So if we're looking at this, and let's say that the stock is at $10 a share, it goes up to 15, and then it pulls back 5% from 15, it's going to sell. But you can see the idea. It's trailing the stock. The 5% stop loss moves with the intraday high. Now, another way you could play this is just put a stop loss in there. You can say, and you're seeing here, I like to use percentages. I never like to use dollar amounts. If you want to, you can say, okay, it's at 10. If it drops 50 cents, if it drops 75 cents, if it drops 25 cents, I'm going to put in I'm just going to say exit the trade. So if it goes down to $9.75, stock sells. $9.50, stock sells. It has nothing to do with the percent. It has to do with the dollar amount. If you wanted to, you could just say, okay, my stop loss is at $10. I'm going to enter the trade at $10. I'm going to put my stop loss at $9 a share. This thing could go to 15. Now, nothing's going to happen if it pulls back, say, 5% from 15. The only way this thing is going to exit your stock is if it touches $9 a share. That can be the tricky part about leaving your computer, not paying attention to something. And this is where people can get in trouble because you're giving back all of this profit. You're giving back a $5 profit on this hypothetical trade, and you could potentially lose your $5 and then lose an additional $1. This is where people get really confused and don't understand trading and keeping profits in your pocket. Now, without stop losses, one trade can wipe out I don't want to say your entire account, but wipe out all of your gains for that day. I use stop losses specifically when it comes to a 15-minute chart. And if you're familiar with my videos, this is a 15-minute chart. Each one of these candles is 15 minutes. So this right here was the opening candle of today. It's 9:30. This was 9:45, and so on and so forth. If we go back to yesterday, 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, 10:15, so on and so forth. They're 15 minutes that you're seeing. So you're taking a microscope, looking inside of the stock, inside of the one-day candle and seeing what's going on. I like to use these when I'm day trading. Why? Because things can happen very quickly. Trends can change very quickly. You're seeing it right here. You open the day, this is not a stock I would trade, but you're seeing how you open the day down and now you're kind of hovering around, you're bouncing around, you're going back up. You don't really know what's happening. Your trend is in all different directions, but things can happen like that. This all happened within a matter of 3, 4, 5 minutes. So when it comes to the 15-minute chart, lesson 1, use a trailing stop. And now you might be asking a great question. Well, what percentage should I put my trailing stop at? And honestly, I don't have an answer for you. This really comes down to your personal risk tolerance. If you're a person that doesn't really want to take a lot of risk, you might put a 1% trailing stop in there. Now, what's the problem with a 1% trailing stop? When we're looking at stocks that we like to day trade, you may have heard me in the past. I like to trade things that are a little bit more volatile. Why? Because it gives me the up and down. It gives me the opportunity to make some money. You can't go in there and make money on a consistent basis on something like an AT&T or a Coca-Cola or a Warner Brothers Discovery. You just don't have enough movement on the stock. Now, if you trade something like a Tesla, maybe a Cleveland Cliffs, some 3-time levered ETFs, you're going to get some movement in there. you're going to get movement in both directions. If we look up an example here, let's look at LABU. This is a stock that I used to trade frequently back in the day. Now, if you look at the first candle of the day, this thing was up 0.95%. I'm looking, let me see if I can get up here. I'm looking right over here. This is where I'm looking, 0.95%. Next, now we're up another 1.19%. So if we just come over here and look at LABU, you can see during the day, we're up 2.22%. That's combining these two right here. If you have a trailing stop in there, you can obviously see that this thing can pull back over 1%. If we just go to yesterday, let's look at this. Up 0.2%, down 2.3%, down 0.5%. And then in this stretch, let's look. Down 1.14, down 1.35, down 0.51, down 0.92, down 0.16. You can see here, it frequently can move about 1%, especially on days that it really gets ripping. Why is that bad for a trailing stop? You're going to get stopped out too frequently. You can see this thing can easily just pull back 1% and then it can continue on. Now, you can do, if you have a higher risk tolerance, you can do maybe 5%. I always like to do somewhere between 3 and 5%, depending on the stock. 10% was too much for me. I don't want to lose 10% on a position. But if I get some significant pullback, 5%, that's about all I'm willing to give up. 1%, 2%, too small for me, because I realized that when I'm trading these higher beta stocks, these stocks that are a little bit more volatile, they would frequently pull back 1 and 2%, and it meant nothing. It was nothing more than just a little bit of profit taking, and that takes me to volume. Volume is what's going to drive. Let's go back to CLF. Volume is what's going to drive your stocks. Nothing changes from that perspective. You still get, if you have sellers coming in, stock's going to go down. If you have buyers coming in, like you did at the end of the day here, stock is going to go up. It's very simple. You still need to pay attention to the volume here. And this is kind of another place that you can position your stop loss. You can say, okay, well, I'm going to put let's call it a 5%, or let's say I want to put a 1% stop loss on there, right? But we're getting a ton of volume coming into the stock, like yesterday. Is the probability going to be higher or lower that you're actually going to stay in this thing without a 1% pullback? It's going to be lower, of course. Why? Because there's more participation in the stock. The higher the volume is, the higher the volatility is going to be. There are buyers, there are sellers. Just because this cluster here finished green doesn't mean that people weren't selling. You can see there's wicks on top of all of these candles. This means that sellers came in, sellers came in, sellers came in. Even here, sellers came in. So you need to understand that 1% might be too small. So if I'm going to say to you, you need to go in and put this percentage stop loss, I'm going to say 3 to 5% is going to be your sweet spot. I think if you go over 5%, it's too big of losses that you're taking. If you're at a 1%, you're going to come to me saying, Mo, I get stopped out of everything. And I'm going to say, well, what's your stop loss at? And you're going to say, what's your trailing stop loss at? And you're going to say 1%. I'm going to say, there's your answer. Let the stocks move a little bit more and you're going to be better off for it. Now, when we're talking about risk, I need you to understand that you need to be experienced to do this. If you do not feel comfortable trading with real dollars yet, don't. Go and trade with paper money. Go and practice a little bit. You have gotten to this point in your life. Let's say you're 30 years old. Let's say you're 25 years old. You haven't made a trade in 25 to 30 years, right? What's an extra 3 months? What's an extra 3 months to not go in and blow up your account? Take time to understand and trade using paper money and figure it out the right way. Now, when it comes to this, you can zoom out and go back and practice and say, okay, if I'm looking in here, what kind of risk am I putting in? Like if I'm going and buying this run up, there's not a ton of risk that this is just going to snap right back down, right? But if I'm coming in and I'm looking at something, let's say like this chart right here, not a ton of movement. You can see throughout the day, the stochastic wasn't good. Remember, if we're buying to go long, we want to be up here above 80%. If we're going short, we want to be below here between 20%. But you can see the majority of this day hung out in no man's land, right? You just don't have a high probability of making money in here. This is a type of trade where you're taking on more risk than you should be, because it's the type of trade that you just should not be in. You want to be taking higher probability trades that are below 20%, or above 80% on the stochastic with good volume, and then have your trailing stop in place of that 3 to 5% number. If you do these three little things, you are going to do very well if you continue your day trading journey. So let's talk about when to enter a trade, because we just talked about trend, we talked about volume. I want to show you when to enter a trade, how to execute this entire thing. So if we're looking and saying, okay, let's get into a trade here. Let's use LABU, for example. This is a ETF, 3-time levered ETF that I really enjoyed trading back when I was day trading full time. It was a lot of fun. You can make a lot of money on it. It was very volatile, but let's see here. So you had something where not a lot going on in the morning. How did I know there was not a lot going on in the morning? We were in no man's land, right? We're in no man's land. I don't like our trend to be in this area. I like to go long above 80%, to go short below 20%. So we have nothing going on here. All of a sudden we start to get some turning here where we're above 80%. Where do my eyes go next? They go right to volume. What's happening with my volume? Well, I had a little lull in here. I started to get this increase in volume. Okay, great. Where do my eyes go next? They go up here and I'm looking for this engulfing candlestick. Perfect. I got the engulfing candlestick. Now, when I put in my order, this is how I do it. I execute a trade. I'll put in, let's just say we bought here at, let's just say 165, put in a 165 order. And then I go in and I just put in a trailing stop of, call it 5%. You can do this all at the same time if you want to. I just do this because there's really no urgency to it. If I get any pullback beyond 5% of 165, it's going to exit the trade for me. Or I can go in and manually exit the trade myself. So let's see what's going to happen. With this, we just started running and we started running and we started running. And remember, no matter how high the stock goes, this thing went to $170 a share. Now it's 5% from 170. It's a trailing stop. It's 5% off of the intraday high of after where I placed the trade. So at some point, this would eventually stop me out. It would probably have been right in here or somewhere right in here. But for me, I would just exit this on my own because I start to see, okay, trend is starting to turn, volume is starting to fall off, I can exit. Remember, you can override your trailing stops, your stops. You don't need to just let them execute. These are just in place in case something crazy happens. The stock price just pulls back hard 5%. Okay, things happen. You remember, you're gonna lose in this business. You have to understand you're gonna lose. But the idea is what? To mitigate your losses, to have those stops in place so you don't just lose a ton of money and wipe out multiple days of profit. Now, I mentioned here that I would have got out of this trade before that 5% area. So why would I do that? Well, there's a couple of things here, and let's talk about that. So when we got up to this point, look, we had a good candle. We started moving up really nicely. Great. Volume was pretty good. We were above 80%. Everything was going really well. And then what started to change here? Well, obviously the candles started to change. You can see that there kind of became this peak up here. But what really started to change? Answer that for me. The volume. The volume started to dwindle. As soon as I start seeing volume start dwindling or falling off, especially falling off like this, I am out of the trade. Buyers and sellers are no longer there. This is how you keep profits in your pocket. Remember, the trailing stop, it's in place for the reason of if a stock pulls back hard on you. But that doesn't mean that you just let your stocks ride and whenever they pull back 5%, you move on. No, be proactive. When you start seeing volume turning off, exit your trade. It's very simple. You started seeing volume turning off. You started to see the red line here dropping under yellow, meaning that the trend was obviously changing. Don't wait for the stock to crash 5%. Take your profits, exit your stock, do what you have to do to keep the money in your pocket. So to even get to the point of thinking about a trailing stop, we need to have trend, volume, and a good candlestick. These are the three pieces that are going to make a good day trader on the 15-minute chart. The trailing stop is going to be what's going to keep the money in your pocket. Or should I say the emergency brakes that are going to keep the money in your pocket. Now, I just showed you one example and I encourage you to watch this over again. You're not going to get it the first time. I threw a bunch of things at you. This is a new language. It can be confusing. I know that. But we have a Patreon community as well. And we go live 4 times a week. And many of those, we are just exclusively day trading. We have Bailey. He full-time day trades now. This is his job. He is a full-time day trader. He helps us on YouTube doing the live streams. And He is excellent at it. He makes a lot of money doing it. There are multiple people in there. Mateo is another one. He is a fantastic day trader. He's gotten to the point where he's doing this as a career. I'm not saying that you need to do this as a career, but I'm saying this to show you this does work. This works if you follow it. If you follow the rules, you will do very well, especially when we have volatility like we have in the market right now. The more volatile the markets are, the better off you're going to be as a day trader. Now, the more important, you're going to want to have those trailing stop losses in place, but the better off you're going to do in making profits. So the link is in the description below. Click it, try it for a month, try it for 2 months. I always say this, what do you have to lose? It's not that much, and it's something that you can use for the rest of your life. Now, I also made a full course when it comes to trading. It's long, it's chaptered, but it covers every single thing that you would need to know when it comes to trading. If you follow that, if you watch it multiple times, you will do well. If you follow the rules, you will do well. So this video just scratches the surface. My full course is the one that you really need to watch. Go check it out next, and I'll see you in the Patreon.